Hi, welcome to Frambles. So, for today, our topic is um, manifesting. Now, I'm not a pro on manifesting, but I'm going through my journals and my memories, and there's something I want to share. So, way back, we're talking way back, like 2002, I was still in college. Um, and I saw something on manifesting, and they were saying, like, write it, write it down, or, cut out stuff for, it wasn't called a vision board at the time, but that I knew of. But I kind of got the gist. So one of the exercises was to like imagine what you wanted. And I didn't write anything down, but I did imagine in detail a home with a huge like barn garage in the back, on the left side in the rear, with a hydraulic lift, because I figured, well, if I'm going to have it, I'm going to have it so the mechanics come to my house. And I had a family member who loved cars. And I just thought, oh, how cool would it be if they could actually just, tinker in there? Like that could be their spot, but the barn's going to be big enough so I can have my woodworking section and my studio for music, which I still to this day don't really know how to do any of that. But and the other thing was, like I had all of these accommodations for other people and a huge yard and a pool. And the house even was a certain way. And I really only went in depth in my mind on this like for like 2 days, for like, like say a Monday and a Tuesday, just to give an example. But the feeling of it felt so good. And the other part of it was, um, I didn't realize it until later. And I also had a dog. And I'll get to the other part actually after. So, 2002. So I started dating a guy in like 2004, 2005. And he's about to buy a house. And he's got to make a decision between two houses. One house was like really cool. It had solar paneling. It had all this stuff. And he was really like very environmentally conscious. And the other house, he showed me a picture of. And it was the same house from my vision with a Morton building, which is a huge barn in the back, with a hydraulic lift on the left side. It had a loft if you wanted to do something up there like art or music. And it also had another huge room that could have been used for anything you wanted, but huge. The backyard was huge. So he asked me which house I thought he should get, and I told him I can't answer him. It's got to be his decision. And he actually picked the house with the Morton building. Here's the kicker. When I imagined the house, I didn't imagine a family. I imagined it just being a very peaceful, healing place where I could just do my thing. And I never really thought about a husband or, kids and all that being in this house. I only imagined a golden retriever. So he bought the house with the Morton building. He went to do a project in Arizona and asked me to watch the house. So there I was in the house that I had imagined, which was funny enough. But he had a golden retriever. So I watched the house alone, and it was, like exactly my vision. So you tell me. It wasn't so much the detail, it was the imagining the details and that great feeling I got of like, oh, this is the home I want. Oh my God, yeah, and it's gonna have this. Oh, and it's gonna have this. Oh, and it's gonna be da, 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 right? So they say in manifesting, it's the feeling. Now, I have a million of these stories, which I will share um, other times. But I mean, come on, you just never know because they say to imagine it, but let it go. But leave the vision up board up if you have it, because the subconscious is going to somehow produce it for you anyway, right? And again, I need to take that class. I haven't even done that. And the other thing I'm going to mention, because I really think it's another funny thing, I worked for storage, self storage facility. And it was so funny that, if somebody came in and said, hey, I need a washing machine, it was like almost guaranteed that somebody would be leaving that week and be like, listen, I have this washing machine. I got to get rid of it before I move to Florida. Or I have a car. I got to get rid of it before I move to Florida. And it was like a joke. Like, if you asked for it in that office, it was going to somehow produce itself. It was gonna manifest for the person. And again, no stress behind it, no like, heavy thinking about it. It's just this passing thing. So, I'm no manifestation teacher, but I think it's pretty funny. The other day, I'm like, I really need a toaster, but I'm going to be cheapy weepy. Maybe I'll just be lucky enough to find the stuff I need on like a curb. Somebody's moving. Let me tell you something. I got two patio chairs. I got my toaster. I got the glass table that I had imagined like 6 months ago off of a curb. And for my birds, I wanted a beautiful white cage, larger. They were getting bigger. They were like, getting antsy in there. They needed more room. All of it. I found all of it on curbs almost immediately. And again, these are all things that I was just like, there was an emotion behind it. There was like a feeling about it, like, oh my God, I need a toaster. I miss my toast, and and it worked. So I went way over. It is 7 minutes. I promise to keep this at 5. So have a good night.